నరేందర్ స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేశాను.
సార్ చెప్పండి.
స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చెయ్యి. అండ్ మోరోవర్ ఇది
సార్ చెప్పండి.
Ajoy sir, welcome sir.
Good afternoon, Mahesh.
Good afternoon sir. We'll start in another 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, nice, nice.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So today, the first day, session 2. I apologize in the beginning that the resource person, Mr. Papa Rao, who was supposed to take the session 2, due to his internet connectivity issues, he is unable to join for today's session. So it is informed that he will be taking a session either on 7th or 8th of January. So he'll be adjusting his session on 7th or 8th. So meanwhile, I have requested Dr. Ajay Kumar Pandey sir to continue the session 2 also, where he'll be discussing in detail about the scanning electron microscopy. I warmly welcome Dr. Ajay Kumar Pandey sir, and I request you to kindly take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
My slide is visible.
It is getting loaded, sir.
Is it loading or streaming? Not coming?
Can you again share the screen?
I am doing the same. Is it coming down? Still not coming?
No, sir.
Oh, but let me log out. You are sharing the screen. Okay. Share. Is it coming? No?
No, sir, still loading.
I am logging out.
Yes, sir. You can just log out and log in again. Yes, sir. Now your screen is visible.
Yeah, there are two options actually. I used joined by a call or joined by computer voice. That is things I was missing. Now my slide is visible?
No, sir. Your desktop screen is visible, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it came and went off.
Means now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The slide is coming? No.
Yes. Part 2, scanning electron microscopy. It's visible.
Okay. Thank you for another chance for this.
We are very thankful to you, sir,
for
for
this,
accepting our request. Thank you very much.
Anyways, it is always my pleasure to be with Basara. So whatever it is. Let me start this ACM part. Okay. So again, I will be going a little bit of fundamentals of that thing, so that we can make use of these things for detailed characterization. So that part. So let me start. Here, probably all of you have this idea. Basara also is having a little bit of advanced version or better version of this ACM. Hope it is working. My it is working now?
Yes, sir. Video is also come.
No. Your ACM is working now?
No.
Okay. No issues. But you'll be sooner or later you'll be getting a chance to see these things and experience this ACM. I'm speaking to it. So what is we can do with this microscope is represented here by this animation. Okay, just you can see very small magnification to very high magnification. We can go with the same microscope. Okay, just you can see in the animation in this magnification is written. Okay, so you can see that 4K, 8K, 25K, that is the magnification level. K means 1000 times you are magnifying, right? So that is the capability of a ACM can have, right? So this is nothing but, as I said, so ACM is nothing but electron microscopy is nothing but the science and technology of using electron beam for magnifying the image. That's it. ACM does. Okay, so how to magnify the image? That is only the job of ACM. How it does, I'll try to tell you slowly. Right? See, basically the advantages I get for ACM is the magnification. You see, 1,000 times more, I can think, or 10th of, sometimes 10,000 you can see the magnification and a very high resolving power. I don't know how many of you understand that resolving power. I'll be telling a little bit slowly later. So what I wanted to say by resolving power means in a nutshell, resolving power means this ability to focus in fine details. Okay, so that thing I can say resolving power in a nutshell. And magnification, see, up to 2 million times over that whatever optical microscope we can use. So that is a great advantage a electron microscope gives. And also it produces little bit of great depth of view. So what is that? I'll try to tell you slowly. Means it produces little bit of three-dimensional effect. Okay, and a greater depth of field is possible with this microscope. That is why it is very much popular for advanced research, and that's why we should know in details about that. Limitations are plenty. See, I have showed two advantages and so many limitations. Yeah, it is there, but advantages are predominated over these limitations. First limitation, I can say, very high cost. Cost-wise, they are very high. Sometimes it comes in few crores. Okay, good quality SEM comes in few crores. So that is a little bit costly for us. Okay. Many times that non-conducting specimens require special attention. Okay, because we use electron in this case. So conductivity matters. Okay, so if it is not conductive, then we have to make it conductive. So for that, sometimes we may have to make some arrangement like a coating over the specimen and all these things we have to do. Okay. Another thing, another limitation is there that specimen must be completely dry. Okay, wet specimen we cannot study because it will be going to the vacuum. So wet is the issue. And under electron beam which is having high energy, so that is a problem. So dry samples we have to use, and also live specimen we cannot see. Okay, live specimen we cannot see, so biological specimen becomes difficult. Okay, so that is another problem. Okay, not only, even if it is not live also, then also this moving specimen we cannot see. Okay, many times as we are applying some electron beam over the sample, sample can move sometimes because of the, if it is a magnetic responsive sample, so they can move. So that moving specimen also difficult, right? Another limitation is that after all this money, we cannot see the specimen in colors. So many times, seeing specimen in color actually gives some more information, okay, from the image. So that part is missing there. So hope in future electrons will be able to produce colored image. So still now we cannot do. Okay. Operator requires a little bit of training and little bit of experience to derive a good quality image. So everybody may not be able to switch on the microscope and observe. So it requires a little bit of skill. Okay, that is another limitation. Okay, and as I say, we are using electron beam. Okay, that electron beam is having very high energy. Okay, so this can damage the specimen if it is prone for that. Means, if it is radiation damage, will be sample will be exposed to this high energy radiation. So because of that thing, sometimes specimen can damage. And while we are taking image, we may get already the damaged specimen's image. Okay, and also maintenance cost and spare is difficult. That is why you see your SEM is still not now working so long, because spare are costly and also maintenance is difficult, right? So because of those things are actually limitation side of this SEM, but advantage is huge. Okay, with all of this, let us start to understand how this microscope works. This part is okay? Are you hearing me?
Sir, understood.
Yes, sir. Understanding.
Okay. First thing I wanted to tell you, that is magnification. What is that? I'll tell. Already you have probably idea. Okay. So magnification in our 10th level itself we studied image height by object height. Okay. And the total magnification, as I said, objective into eyepiece, eyepiece into objective is equal to the total magnification. Okay. In this case, as the screen size is the fixed, that implies this image size is fixed. Okay, image size is fixed by the screen size, right? So that implies only I can change the object size object height to have a higher magnification, right? If I go for smaller and smaller object height, then I'll be having higher and higher magnification. So in SEM, the meaning of high magnification means you will be observing smaller and smaller area. You just see by this animation that is being shown here. You see, I am trying to focus smaller and smaller area, but the image height is remaining same. That is limited by the screen size. Understand? So image height is fixed here. Only the object, smaller and smaller portion of the object I am seeing, and hence I am magnifying the image object, right? So that is a part of I can say it is magnification. By definition, what I can say, how large an object can be made. Not only that thing, how large I can make any large, but still it need to be resolved. That is the class. I can show you very large image which clarity is missing. It does not resolve. Then that is not the magnification. That is why probably all of you have heard something called effective magnification in optical microscope. Right? In optical microscope also, and this means I have one objective like this. I can add another objective, another objective, another objective. So will it continue to increase the magnification? What do you think? For example, I have only one objective here. What I am doing objective. So will the magnification be now to total magnification? Will it come like that in optical microscope?
Sir,
What do you think?
Stucking in between, sir.
Voice is breaking?
Stucking, sir. Sir, it is breaking.
It is somewhat fluctuating, sir.
Now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I do not know what happens after I connect. Nothing I do. I rejoin and it is working. I do not. Anyway, whatever I wanted to say, in a regular microscope, if I go on adding the lenses, I cannot increase the magnification. That's what something. Okay, so that implies that still it should resolve. Okay, so normally in optical microscope it is around 1300. More than that I cannot magnify by whatever way it is. Okay, so that more than that it is effective magnification. When say less effective magnification. However, what I wanted to say, in case of electron microscope, this magnification is few millions. Okay, and still it get resolves. Okay, so that is one advantage of this microscope. Now, I was telling repeatedly about resolving the things. So let me tell about resolution. I think you have a little bit of idea about these things. This resolution is nothing but the closest distance between 2 points that can be clearly resolved or seen as a separate entity through the microscope, and that thing should be the resolution. Okay, that implies what I wanted to say. I have two objects. If they are spaced enough, I can see them as a two object, no problem. They are coming close and close. Okay, still up to certain limit, I will be separate them out. But if they are very close, then I may not be able to. For example, this is the case. Okay, two object is there. Here you see, they are in a distance. I can understand they are two object. Okay, now here you see, they came very close. Now it has become very difficult for me to understand they are two objects. With lot of difficulty, I understand they are two. Okay, similarly, case here you see, two object I can understand. This is two object. Okay, sorry, two object I can understand. But here you see, in this case, okay, two object distance has come little bit of close, and I cannot understand there as a separate. So here you see they are little close. Here you see they are little apart. So while this situation was there, I can understand them separately. When this situation came, I could not recognize them as separate entity. So this is I call not resolved, and this is up to that I am able to resolve. Right? So that resolution matters. I keep on magnifying, means I am seeing smaller and smaller portion of the object, and but still I should be able to resolve that thing. Otherwise, that magnification will turn up with this kind of image where I will not be able to understand the real things. Right? So that kind of part I say resolution. Okay, as I said, closest distance that can be still seen with clarity. That thing I am seeing resolution. Here also you can see these two objects I can easily resolve. Okay, these two objects I cannot resolve separately. Okay, their identity has lost. These two objects just resolved. You see, with a little bit of observation, I can still understand there are two spheres. Okay, these two. So this can be the resolution limit. Means I cannot resolve more than that. Right? So that can be the resolution limit of this microscope. So that is what for electron microscope it is very high. For resolution limit, Rayleigh kept some criteria. Okay, what should be the resolution limit? He says this kind of situation. What he says, 2-point success. The 2-point successor just dissolve if they have an angular separation equal to the angular radius. What they wanted to say, if I have a two disk, this one and this one, they can be resolved if they are separated by r by 2, sorry, d by 2. Okay, so if their distance is equal to r. So that thing Rayleigh has told. So that is one of the criteria for resolving. However, you need not to go so details. What I wanted to say, this resolution of a microscope really matters. Okay, so that tells how good quality image you can achieve and how much magnification. Right? So resolution is a very big factor. As I said, magnification, then resolution is a good factor for electron microscope. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now you see, as I say, that resolution is a criteria, and Rayleigh give this said resolution should be equal to d by 2. So here he has told resolution should be equal to d by 2. So you take that thing and try to put this geometrical geometry of the lenses. Then I turned up with these things. What is that? 0.61 lambda by mu sin alpha. Okay, so that is a resolution. Okay, that is a resolution. Again, if I try to see that mu sin alpha is nothing but the numerical aperture, this point also works. That implies I can tell that this resolution of a microscope, okay, is equal to 0.61 lambda by Na. That implies what I wanted to say, resolution is directly proportional to lambda. That implies Smaller the lambda, smaller the resolution, and better is the microscope. Correct? Because smallest area I can see, right? Small radius resolution I will be getting if my lambda is small. Lambda means wavelength I am using for this imaging. Okay, if lambda is small, then resolution is small, and that is better for the imaging. Right? So that is where electron microscope plays a very big role. Electron microscope can use a variable lambda. This is very important. Electron microscope can use a variable lambda, and hence I can have a variable resolution and variable magnification. Right? So that is a good thing with electron microscope. Right? So I understood resolution is directly proportional to lambda. Here, I just wanted to tell a little bit about what I wanted to say. You see, for optical microscope, lambda is more or less fixed. Okay, if you use a light, okay, light optical things means you cannot go beyond this range. Means VGR you have to use. If you use a mixed radiation, means white radiation, then that will be having a mixture of all these VGR. Okay, many times advanced microscope, optical microscope even, they allows you to use some filter. Okay, in that you allow one particular color to pass, color of light. Okay, then you are just avoiding this VGR passing through that. All lambda instead, 1 or 2 lambda goes. Then you are more, means you are better. But if you use a filter, then light intensity comes down. Okay, so then your image quality again can come down. So you have to use wisely the filter while you require. So this is one way I can increase the quality of image in optical microscope. Other way is what? I can concentrate on this mu and sin alpha. Okay, see this mu is more or less fixed for a particular combination. Air and this glass, if I take, this mu is fixed. Instead, few advanced lenses, what they will do, they use some in between fluid. Okay, they say oil. Say oil immersed lens. In optical microscopy only I am speaking. So if you are very good in optical microscope and keenly observe the best microscope you have, okay, that lens will be oil immersed. Okay, why they do so? They can alter this mu value. Okay, and hence this resolution will increase. Right? Anyway, sin alpha, maximum sin alpha, you cannot increase the angle more than 90 degree. So alpha cannot be more than 90. So 90, that is the limit. I cannot again change. But I can change this mu. I can change a little bit of this lambda. So that way I can improve the resolution of optical microscope. But for electron microscope, I can change lambda pretty much range. That is why electron microscopes are getting popular. Right? So I'll show you slowly. Before that, I wanted to say another concept which is called depth of field. After this, you are hearing?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another concept I am trying to tell, that is depth of field.
Your voice is good.
So your voice is breaking.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I was logging in through the browser. Okay, I believe that created the problem. But once browser is getting loaded, then only I think it is what happening. I do not know. See.
Sir, your screen is visible.
Yeah, but what is coming? Some
Depth of field.
on my screen. I
Yes.
have to stop.
Slide is there.
You can see this. Yeah, you can see some people are tagged in my screen. How to remove them, including me?
Sorry, sir.
You cannot see some people are visible in my screen. I want to stop them. How to do that? Oh, I got it. Thank you. Okay, now screen is visible. I'm audible, I think.
Yes, sir.
So as I was telling, this I am having two images here and here. This one you see. This is a nut bolt. Thank you. Here you see. I have taken this image using SEM and this is optical. So here you see. I cannot see the details here available in case of optical microscope, but this portion was very clear. And so all of you have an idea that optical microscope will be focusing a object over a plane. So I can see in this plane whatever it is there, but in this plane I cannot see. Right? That is the problem with this optical microscope, where I can completely resolve the total length, okay, in electron microscope. Correct? This is possible because of one thing which is called high depth of field, okay, of electron microscope. You can see this image here clearly visible, that you can see some projections are there over the surface. Surface is even uneven, and but still everything is clear. Okay, so that is possible because electron microscope has high depth of field. So what this depth of field actually? You see, I am trying to show one image here. So there you see that it is a distance between the optical axis. Okay, how far I can see the image with clarity. These things is depth of field. Here I say. So here I am trying to tell you this portion is the numerical aperture. Aperture means opening through which lights or electrons can pass or move. Okay, and based on that thing, I will be having a focal plane. Okay, so focal plane. So based on this aperture size, the images will be expected to be formed on the focal plane. Now, from the focal plane, how much along this axis, how much distance this side and how much distance this side, still I will be able to see with clarity that thing I am saying depth of focus or depth of field. What my point? So not only the plane we are speaking, above and below the plane, certain distance we will be able to see with clarity. That thing we are saying depth of field. So for optical microscope, depth of field is very poor. While for electron microscope, depth of field is very high. You can see this kind of depth of field we can get. Right? Here again, similarly to that of depth of focus, I can see that depth of field thing. Here you see depth of field is again directly proportional to lambda. Right? depth of field is directly proportional to lambda, which is the case of resolution also directly proportional to lambda. But if depth of field increases, if depth is more, quality is more. But that implies the parameter which is increasing depth of field, that will decrease the resolution. Means decrease means it will increase the resolution also. Means resolving power will come down. You understand what I wanted to say? Here you see depth of field is directly proportional to lambda. Resolution is also directly proportional to lambda. But smaller resolution is good, where higher depth of field is good. Correct? That implies same parameters. If I alter shape for higher resolution, then depth of field will come down. Or if I set it for higher depth of field, then resolution will come down. So then you have to trade off in between these two to get a quality image. Getting my point? Are you hearing?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Now you see another things I wanted to tell you, depth of field versus aperture size. Here you have seen I have the aperture. If I set the aperture size, then depth of field is going to change. Here you can see with clarity. Okay, I have a larger aperture. In that case, my depth of field is coming down. I have a smaller aperture, depth of field is more. Right? Then you will be saying, and why don't I keep always a small aperture? Then I will be having more depth of field. Right? So if you keep small aperture, then as I said, that small aperture means I will be having resolution issues. Light will pass through less, which is clearly shown in this picture. Okay, I have a large aperture. Okay, I have a large aperture. In that case, what will be happening? My depth of means how much area? The depth of field is more. Means I can go far beyond this focal point, but see, I cannot focus everything. Correct? This is the case. Depth of field is low. We cannot focus everything. Only small things I will be able to focus. Where if I have a small aperture, okay, so small aperture, you see my depth of field is more. Small aperture, depth of field is more. Then you will say, why don't we always keep small aperture? Small aperture, if you keep, then that light passing through this or electrons passing through that will come down, and hence effectively brightness again will get affected. So you'll be saying, while somebody is taking a picture of a sports player who is far away in the field, okay, then you'll be saying this kind of pictures he is taking. Okay, where everything becomes blurred, this fellow is in focus because he has increased this depth of field. Sorry, he has increased the aperture size. Such a way he can capture this image, but then depth of field has come down. He cannot focus everything. He has to focus only some small portion. Right? So that is the things in microscopy we will be always getting. Correct? So in between we have to trade off. Point is okay?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, sir.
Now, as I was telling, the key things for this electron microscopy is that it can use variable lambda. That is the great thing with electron microscope. So already we have seen that lambda for optical microscope is fixed. Means you cannot go beyond this DTA. Okay, for optical microscope, your lambda size is fixed in the visible range, and DTA only is your lambda, right? But for electron microscope, you see, I know this this fellow D. Bogle has given this equation. P is equal to h by lambda equal to m d momentum. If I rearrange these things, I get a expression for lambda, which is 12.3 by root over of d. Okay. So from here, what I wanted to say that lambda is inversely proportional to root over of b. Right? That implies if I can increase voltage, this lambda will decrease. And if lambda decreases, then my resolution increases. Right? So that is what I want. So that is why you will be seeing electron microscope. We want to use higher and higher voltage. Typically, you will be seeing SEM we are using at 40 kV, EM we are using 400 kV, like that. So very high voltage we are trying to keep. So that very small lambda we get. Okay, smaller the lambda, we get a better resolution. That's why nowadays modern microscope, they will say my resolution is 0.8 angstrom. 0.7 angstrom. They'll say like that. That implies they are going very high kV, or else they have taken care of the other factors so that they do not get disturbed. Okay, and hence their control over the electron is such a high, they can get this precision. So these things are very latest technology also they are giving this. Right? Whatever I am speaking about ACL. Whatever what I wanted to say, as voltage can be altered in my electron microscope, and hence lambda can be altered. Right? So that is what I want to say. Lambda is variable in electron microscope. So the way you want, you can alter it, and you can get very good resolution. For example, here I am giving how much can be the resolution for how much voltage. Right? So that is a great advantage for electron microscope. Now another comparison for this electron microscope and light microscope, as I was telling, the lambda is variable, and hence you see for electron microscope, if I try to calculate the resolution, comes around 0.2 nanometer. It's a variable again. So if I take some particular factor around lambda is equal to 0.001 nanometer, then my resolution is coming around 0.02 nanometer. Okay, while this optical microscope, if I take a lambda of violet light, we will be having around 400 nanometer lambda. So resolution is coming around 152 nanometer. Just imagine how they are different by their resolution. Accordingly, image quality will matter. Not only that resolution power, depth of field also, as I was telling earlier. Okay, you can see it's a coil, a tin coil, filament I can say. Okay, so that taken in SEM and taken in optical microscope differences. Why? Because this fellow is having higher depth of field. Right? It can resolve more above and bottom the focal plane. Right? So that is why we get more used to electron microscope. Right? So up to that, no problem.
Clear, sir.
Good. See here, some more things. For what purpose we use an electron microscope? Here, this is more or less the purpose of electron microscope we use to understand the topography. Okay, topography means the surface features, how the surface look like. So to see that we use electron microscope. Sometimes we use these things to understand the morphology. Morphology means size and shape, how the particles or of the objects are looking like, how is their shape to understand how big, how small they are. To understand that thing, you can use this microscope. Sometimes we use these things to understand the composition. Okay, so relative amount of elements in a compound. Okay, to understand that thing also we can use this microscope. And sometimes the special cases we can use these things for structure, for crystallography also. Okay, although I will not cover this part here. This part I am not saying. Okay, so there that is also possible by electron microscope. How atoms are arranged. Okay, so that thing also we can understand by this electron microscope. That is a major application of this electron microscope, right? So with that, let me tell you, we have two types of major. I'm saying there are 10 to 12 types of electron microscope, but major type, if I think, I have basically two fundamental types of the electron microscope. One which is a transmission electron microscope, in short TEM. Another one, scanning electron microscope, in short SEM. Okay, so two types of basically microscope. They are fundamentally actually different by their principle. Okay, so I will not go to TEM. I am going to speak about SEM. So let me concentrate. Before that, I speak. So let me show you the differences between them. Little bit of schematic. I will not go in detail. Details are there. See here, in all electron microscope, so we will be using electron. We will be using electron. Okay, so that electron beam actually we will be using. So that will be interacting with the specimen. Okay, and after interaction, how or what signal I am detecting, based on that thing, my analysis will be there. For example, electron beam is coming and interacting with the specimen. After that, it is scattering back. Okay, so if the scattered electron, I am detecting a secondary scattered electron, then I am saying secondary electron imaging. If I am using backscatter electron, I am saying backscatter electron imaging. Those things, what is secondary backscatter, I will tell you later. But what I want to say, I can detect a scattered electron. That part I am doing with SEM. Okay, I can detect transmitted electron. That part I am doing with TEM. Okay, the beams are coming. Okay, interacting with the specimen. Whatever electron is getting scattered, if I am using them for imaging, then I am doing something SEM. Variation can be there in that. But whatever electrons is passing through that specimen, if I am characterizing that thing, then I am doing something here. Okay, so that is reflected in this schematics also. What you say, I have a light microscope, TEM, SEM. What you see here, everybody is having a source. Okay, so source of this case light, it can be a lamp. In this case, an electron gun will be there. Correct? Then we will be using some lens. Okay, we will be using some lens. So for optical microscope, we use some optical lenses. Okay, so we say condenser lens. Okay, for electron microscope, same lenses will be there, but it is not an optical lens. It is a electromagnetic lens. Okay, because I am not using light here, I am using electron. To concentrate the electron, I require magnetic field. Okay, so simple, like glass lenses, it is not possible. So I am using electromagnetic lenses here. Okay, so after that, mostly I can keep the specimen here after this condenser lens or optical microscope. Same is the case of TM. I use the specimen here. Okay. So, but in case of ACM, instead of specimen place, I use a scanning coil. Okay. So this is different. Okay. That is why TM discovered fast than ACM came. Okay. So whatever, I use scanning coil in the middle for ACM. Then again, I have this objective lens for optical microscope. Same the case for ACM and TEM. Okay, comparatively they are the same lenses. Okay, so again with a condenser lens. Again they are electromagnetic lens. Now, for light microscope, you may have an eyepiece after that thing. Okay, where you can see the images, or you can capture these things in some screen. Similarly, for transmission electron microscopy, we have a projection lens. They can project the image in some screen. But in case of ACM, little bit of different, that I have a stage, or that I have a sample here. In every case, a sample was here, but in this case, sample is here. Right? So now, this electron, which is guided through some path, it is coming and interacting with the sample. Then they are getting scattered. Okay? Those scattered electron is detected by some detector. Okay? Though the detector detects the signal, analyzes the signal, then makes an image of that. How they do that, that also I will tell you. Okay, so that is a part of the detector. So construction wise, this TEM and ACM or the optical microscope are little different, right? So that is how it is. This point is okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Start the microscope. Now you see. Start the microscope. Here I am trying to tell some components of this electron microscope. As I was telling, so I have a electron source. Then I will be using some aperture to limit the electrons. Then I will be having a condenser lens that will condense the electron field. Then again another limiting aperture I can use for that thing. Then I will be using some scanning coil associated with objective lens. Then this guided electron will be interacting to the specimen. Okay, and electrons will scatter. Those things will be detected by the detector. That is what a ACM is having. Now you see one small animation, how it is trying to tell how what are the components of electron microscope is having, and how it is. Okay. Right, I think you have understood this construction of this electron microscope. Is it okay? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the main arrangement. Here, so much of details are there. I am not going to tell you about that thing. Little more on this electron microscope. So you do not go there. You just try to understand this thing. That electrons will be generated by some electron source. Then they will be passing through condenser lens, then scanning coil, okay, and an objective lens. then it will be interacting with the specimen, and after that it will be scattering and going to the detector. Now I can have various type of detector, secondary, backscatter, this kind of detectors can be there. So they have different purpose. I'll try to tell you slowly about that. Before that, how this imaging, say I am saying this thing is detector is detecting the signal and it is converting to an image. How they do that? Okay, how I am getting an image in electron microscope. So that thing I am going to try to tell you now. Right? Here you see something by which these images are formed, which is called raster scan. I am trying to show you a single frame of the scan. So what you do here, from this side to this side you go, come back, this side you go, come back, this side you go. Like that, entire scan area, beam will be scanning. Okay, as you see here in this image, finally you have seen in this one that image is scanning over the entire area. Here also it will be scanning over entire area. Okay, while they scan, they collect information. While say for example, I am having this specimen, and now electron beam is focusing over this region. Okay, so if I enlarge, I think I can divide into some certain number of pixels or regions, right? So now what you see, so while in a particular portion, the electron gun is there. You see, for example, I am now in this portion. Electron gun is scanning for this portion of the system. Now you see, from there, some electrons will be scattering. So that scattered electron is going to the detector. It will count how many electrons he has got. Okay, say for example, now he has got 156 electrons. So this image analysis, after what they will do, okay, 156 electron means this color should come in this image. This is actually image. For the same region, I am creating an image here, just duplicating the pixel. Okay, so I am focusing the electrons here. Okay, I am counting how many electrons I am getting scattered. Okay, corresponding some color I am giving to the image. Okay, so like that, next one, I am in this position. Okay, from there I am again detecting 288 electrons, which is denser than these things. So I will be giving a more dense point in the image. Like that, continuously I will be giving and counting these things, and hence effectively what I am getting a contrast in the image. If I can draw a contrast, I am able to draw an image. That is how a SEM draws an image of your object. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
Right? So detector is doing the job. Is collecting the scattered electron. Now I can have different type of detectors. Okay, so a detector can detect the different type of electrons. Based on that thing only I am saying type of detectors. So now two type of detectors are very popular. We say secondary electron detector and backscatter electron detector. Backscatter electron detector. Okay, so if anyone of you gone to SEM, most probably you have encountered with this term, that AC image or BAC image. Correct? So that is nothing but which kind of electrons you want to detect. Okay, so they will say AC electron you want to detect or BAC electron you want to detect. That implies I want to say what is AC electron or what is BAC electron. Here I am trying to show you by image. What is that? Say I have an incoming electron. Okay, so that is a stream of electron is coming. It is interacting with the specimen, and it is knocking out one of the electron of the core shell and or of the material, and it is that electron is coming out as a scattered electron. That kind of thing I am saying secondary electron. Primary electron is going this way and another electron is coming up. But backscatter electron, what I wanted to say, same electron is bouncing back to the surface again. Right? It is scattering back. That's why I say backscattered. Okay, so that electron is going, it is not doing anything else with the other electrons of the material structure. So that itself is bouncing back and coming as a scatter electron. That thing, if I am detecting, then I am detecting DSC electron. And this thing, if I am detecting, I am detecting AC electron. Now, question is why I have to understand all these things? Why I have to see AC and DSC? What advantage I get? Okay, see here you can see we can use the secondary electron for means when the forms you know that thing I have told already. Where I use these things, I use for imaging. For what kind of imaging? Related to topography. Okay, topography related imaging I do with this secondary image, secondary electrons. Okay, so any change in the topography I can see, means I cannot see more details of inside, but still on the surface what is there I can see more details. So if I want to do that thing, I must go for AC electron. While DSC, where I will be using? I will be using for something where I want more details. Okay, where surface information is not more that much valuable for me. So I wanted to see grain boundaries, I wanted to see phase boundaries, other crystal features. In that case, I should go for DSC. Okay, even something which is called EDST, I am not going. For that also DSC electrons and all this. Now, let me tell you how these things are going to matter, AC or DSC. Why I am saying it can give more details of this structure, it cannot give more details, it can give more details of the structure. What is the matter? So, if you see that DSC detection, okay, as I said, Z, high atomic number. If I see high atomic number, elastic scattering from this high Z material will be more. Okay, and hence penetration depth will be less. Okay, greater elastic scattering, resolution is better. Okay, so that implies what I wanted to say. If I have Z greater elastic scattering is more, okay, so then it will appear brighter. See here, one image I wanted to say here. So I am trying to tell you the difference between AC and DSC imaging. Just you see, I have a material which is called titanium, whose atomic number is 22. Another fellow is silicon, the atomic number is 14. Now, what I want to say, some electrons are coming to interact with the specimen. First case titanium, second case silicon. Now you see, as this fellow is having more Z, atomic number is more. Now, what is possible? More electron will scatter back, right? But in this case, these things will be less. Atomic number is less, so more electron will be passing through. So in this case, secondary electrons will be more. So what I get, as more electrons are bouncing back, that's scattering more electron, and hence in this case I will be getting a brighter image. In the case of DSC, if I detect a DSC signal, I will be getting a brighter image. That is the case here. You see, yeah, this is the DSC image, this is the AC image of the same material. Now you see, I can clearly understand the contrast, white and black. Contrast is more. Here, this contrast is less. Correct? So, that is the AC image. But this case is the BAC image. And hence, I can understand Z contrast. Right? So, that is the thing. Additionally, I am showing another image, which is a semiconductor. You can see. Here you see, this is a portion below which I have so much of detail. You can see the details, correct? So this thing was possible, okay, by this image, but here you see in this image it is not possible. Right? So why it is not possible? See, I have taken a DSC image here, okay, which was unable to focus so nicely on the surface. Here you see, but it has resolved this portion. Here you see, they are very clear. Right? Z contrast has come. This is one material and this is another material. In DSC, that contrast is visible. But in AC, the Z contrast has not come. This is one material, this is another material. I can only see this material surface. Clear? So that is where AC and DSC image sometimes help. So while you are doing SEM, you should think whether you are going to select the AC image or DSC. Okay, here is more better example. You can see, say, I have some alumina. In that, some nickel is embedded. Okay, nickel is having high there. So you see DSC, I am getting white contrast for the same image. It is in DSC. Red contrast means atomic difference are there. Means I can very clearly see that in DSC. But in AC, I can see more details on the surface. More features, more details, surface features I can see on AC, which is not possible in DSC. But in DSC, I can see the atomic contrast more clearly, which is not possible in case of AC. Right? That is why, while you are going for imaging, you should choose a proper mode of detection of electron. This part is okay? This is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I'll stop it here. Otherwise, I have to go to details. So any questions, I'll be able to answer.
Participants who have queries can kindly ask to the speaker. You can unmute yourself and ask the question directly.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, on morning lecture, you said production of X-ray.
Okay.
You said that in metal, we can use metal for production of electrons, but you use that filament.
Filament is a metal. It is tungsten.
Sir, filament is also metal, but there is any change in metal and filament?
Means a filament is a metal only. What is that? I do not understand your question. Tungsten we are using in this case.
So, okay, sir.
Any metal has electrons, and that electron will come out easily if you heat it up. That is the principle we have used. Right? Anybody is having electron. Every material has electron, but metal has more free electrons. So that is easy for metal to take out the electron. So that is why without heating it also you can take out electron. Okay, so we have a certain technique for that. But if I heat up, it is more easy to take out. Okay, that is why we heat up. Otherwise also in cold condition also you can take out electron. You may have to give more potential difference. Right? Everybody, not only metal, ceramic also have electron. But getting the electron from ceramic is a little bit more difficult. So we cleverly use metal. Any more question?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How can we differentiate the both structures of FCC and BCC?
How can I?
How can we differentiate the structures of the steel, stainless structures, ferritic and austenite?
As I said, if you do a X-ray of that, okay, there is a austenite and ferrite is there. So in FCC and BCC structure it is. Now I know in which position that peaks will come. For example, I have shown you. Say I have shown you these things. Say I have FCC and BCC structure. You can see my slide, correct?
Yes, sir.
See, if I get a peak from 100, okay, then it is neither. It can be simply PV. If 110 peaks are available, then it can be BCC. Right? Like that, you have to analyze the pattern from where you are getting the peaks. Okay, and also crystal structure calculation is there. I have not shown you. Okay, but the shortcut is there for all these things. What is the shortcut? You need not to do all calculations. There are softwares available nowadays and database available. You put in that software a particular match to find out for the software for your pattern. Okay, so that software will search a match in the database until okay, this is the match for you, and see the details of that. If you click on the details, you will be seeing whether it is FCC or BCC. It is more easier way, but always it does not work if you need some skill. If you are thinking more innovative, then you have to calculate by your own. But most of the cases that shortcut also works.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one question from a participant. Sir,
Yeah.
do we use only pure metal as an anode in XRD? If yes, why? I'll repeat one more time. Do we use only pure metal as anode in XRD? If yes, why?
See, we wanted to see that the availability of electron. Correct? Who has more electron available? From where I can easily take out the electron. That thing is the criteria for using as an electron source. Right? Now you see, if I use some other oxides or any other compound, then availability will come down. Okay, so you have to see some metal. The metal in pure form has maximum availability of electron. Not all the metals again you can use, because I am trying to heat that thing up. So heating up the material, it should retain the structure and it should withstand that amount of heat. So for that reason, you see tungsten we are using. Tungsten can withstand that temperature, still it can retain the structure. For that purpose, we use tungsten. You can use any other material too, but you have to take care of the stability of the material, and also if it gets oxides and all other things it comes, then its availability. So oxides are having less electrons available for zoning, giving. So you will be facing problem in that way. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Electron yields will come down if you use improper material. That's what I.
Yeah, participants, any other doubts? You can free to ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask a question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
What happens if you use above 25 voltage difference in that? In morning session, we've seen the K alpha.
Not 25, it is 25 kV. Kilovolt.
Hello?
You have not noticed that.
Yes,
This
sir.
one you are saying, na?
Yes, sir. You already
Which
said
one
you
you are
said
saying?
that 30 kV, 60 kV also use.
Yes, yes,
People
yes.
use 30 kV, 60 kV. What
Yeah.
happens that?
See here, nicely you have asked that question. Here you see, I have used something which is called molybdenum as a target. Okay, for molybdenum, even at 25 kV, I am getting the characteristic peak. Okay, so if I increase the voltage for molybdenum, say I am giving say 30 kV, okay, still I will get the characteristic peak only. Okay, then what I am losing if I give a higher voltage for these things, I am losing the instrument life. It is not required. I have already given sufficient energy. This is one. Second thing, high potential difference if you give, that will damage the target fast. Right? So both the way it is a loss. So
Voltage
you
difference
should
will
know
be
which
depend on the.
target you are using. For that, what is the voltage required? You should give accordingly. For example, if I use copper as a target, then I have to give around 40 kV. Right? I have to give around 40 kV to get a
Yes, sir.
characteristic
So
satisfaction. Yeah, tell me.
will it be vary with every material, sir?
Not every material, with every target. We use a certain material as a target. So based on the target you have used, these things will vary. Voltage will vary. So combination will be changing. You have to use certain voltage and certain current. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll stop. I think we can stop it here. Mahesh, you can take a call.
Yes. So, Maya sir is not here, sir. So,
Okay.
we will close this session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ajay Kumar, sir, for giving us a wonderful session. So, we heartfully thank you for your efforts to making us more knowledge about XRD and SEM. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you. You are Narendra, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I see your face? Who are you?
Yes, sir. I'll show.
Means you are a newly joined fellow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you joined?
Yes, sir.
When you joined? 2 years, 3 years back? When?
2016, sir. 2016.
Okay. I left at 2013.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You taught us like I was a student, sir. You taught us our thermodynamics.
Oh, all right. In mechanical.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I remember. I do not remember your face, but it's okay. It is good to see that you came back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. To all the participants, I have shared the feedback link in the chat box. So you can fill it your feedback link. So that can be considered as your attendance for a day 1, session 1 and session 2. So if you have any other doubts, you can contact me through the WhatsApp group or a Telegram groups. I shared a feedback link in a chat box. So you can use it. You can fill this feedback link. That will be considered as your attendance. So if you are having any other doubts, you can revert me back through your WhatsApp group or a Telegram group. Thank you.